Hi there. Welcome to Marshashana Yoga. Happy New Year. Here in New England, we are experiencing crazy cold for quite a long period of time, but daylight does begin to lengthen as we move into January. When it's a little more reasonable, I enjoy an early morning walk. Just a few minutes to get the blood circulating and the lungs breathing the fresh, cool air. And well, here we are, moving into 2018. I think it's going to be a great year. It's a fact that doing something new helps keep the brain healthy as you age. So maybe 2018 will be the year that you try something new, maybe yoga or something else. I have always wanted to learn to tap dance. In fact, I took a class way back when, but didn't continue with it. Don't remember why not. But I did carry those shoes around for years. Now I have bought a new pair and I'm going to try it out at our senior center here in Milford, Mass. If you have a senior center nearby, they are a superb source of inexpensive classes and groups. That usually includes yoga too. We have talked about the chakras on the show before. Those little spinning wheels, part of what is known as the subtle body, that move energy through us. As the energy of the universe comes to these chakras, they filter it and then diffuse it throughout the body. There are 7 major ones: the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. However, these are not separate from each other, but rather they are always interacting. The energy through the chakras is constantly moving. But sometimes energy can become blocked and throw us out of sync. It is said that the root chakra always has some blockage because we hold ancestral memories there. In the Western world, we tend to see behavior and thought as driven by the intellectual mind. But in Eastern thinking, it is this energy in the body that impacts our mind and therefore our behavior and actions. It is also believed that these energy channels help us to connect with our higher consciousness or the divine. Now, I will digress a bit here. Just some interesting information that I came across about the chakras. If the environment around you is clean, you will be more aware of the energy that's out there. So first, in cleaning a room, determine what you want from the room you are about to clean. What do you want it to be like? Healthier, cozier, more pleasing to those that enter? Then fix what you can and recycle what you can and then throw away the rest. Clean the room. It doesn't have to be spotless or always perfect, but it should be cleaned periodically. If you can, dry things in the sunshine because that provides more energy for your cleanliness endeavor. Now you can also use an aromatherapy machine, perhaps rosemary or lemon, to clear the air. Open the windows or door to air it out. And then go to a corner of the room and stand there and imagine all the energy swirling around and then exiting through the window or door. Now imagine the room being filled up with fresh, clean energy. Do this at each corner. You can also use a sage stick or use holy water. I get mine at Fatima Shrine, and you can bring your own bottles or you can buy empty bottles in the gift shop. And the last step in cleansing the room is to arrange 3 things that are special to you or just beautiful to the eye so that you can see these every day. So back to the Manipura or third chakra. The color related to it is yellow, and we can think of a yellow lotus flower with 10 petals. The energy of this solar plexus chakra is all about our personal power, our place in the world. This is the center of our will. It's from here that we carry out those principles that we hold dear. And as you probably know, the will is a powerful device for getting us where we need to be. But maybe we were never really taught how to use the will. Just food for thought. Our emotional well-being is important to keeping chakras clear and energy flowing. If we have disturbances in our emotions and mind, it will contribute to the blockage. So work through and let go of those things that are bothering you. The solar plexus chakra corresponds in the physical body with the pancreas gland. Blockages in the chakra can result in problems with the digestive system and or the lower back. If this third chakra is out of balance, we might be overly sensitive, perhaps putting too much emphasis on what others think. We might think that someone's indifference is rejection, and if response from others is less than what we feel is completely positive, we might think of it as criticism. We might lack confidence in our abilities or our worth or even the possibility of love. If it's balanced, we are self-assured and responsible for our own actions. We can decide what to do and then maintain that as we move along. We don't need others' approval. It is from this chakra that we have the courage to be who we are without outside approval. Also, we feel powerful without having power over another, or no one has power over us. Of course, we can't control everything in life, but we do have some power over our personal will and where that might take us. I had an interesting experience during the time I was writing this paper. It had never happened to me before. Remember, I am relatively new at all this stuff. Anyway, I could physically feel that my solar plexus chakra felt depleted. I had some experiences that were tough, and I could feel this loss of power in my power center. Don't really know how to describe it, but the more I practice yoga, the more I discover. As my teacher, Kathy Mann, has told me a few times, you get out of yoga what you put into it. No truer words ever spoken, and I encourage you to try that out. What does it mean to balance the chakras? It means to bring stability and flexibility to our lives in equal parts, when necessary, one or the other. This balance is what brings us happiness and harmony. What can happen is that we become very involved in one extreme or the other. We move from extreme gladness to depression, from love to hate, from exhilaration to boredom. It's these extremes that really are the cause of our distress. In addition to yoga, we begin to think about the roles that the nervous system and the brain play in our lives, allowing us to better understand how stress plays out via the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. There are blockages too, and these can be obstacles to the flow of energy. In yogic thinking, sometimes these are created as we become identified with our role in life. Teacher, firefighter, mother, union worker, whatever it may be, rather than the true self. This also involves our desires and our beliefs and fantasies, and so we often convince ourselves that this is real. Also, holding on to emotions or overreacting emotionally to events can wreak havoc as well. Think how, in the past, you may have become angry or stressed over some, what you discover later was an imaginary perception. We've all done this at one time or another, I'm sure. In fact, isn't it true that we are ruled by our minds and often disrupted by all the mind junk, right? From there, I touch on that fundamental issue, living mindfully with awareness here and now. Going over the past again, anticipating the future again, it really comes down to the basic question, how much time are we really spending in the present moment? We just had a Christmas Eve party. And it was interesting because with all the picture taking and selfie stuff, there were only a few pictures taken at the party. There were many people, but only Mark, thanks Mark, got a few pictures. The good news is everyone was so involved in the present moment, and nothing more gratifying as the mother-grandmother, that they weren't thinking about taking pictures. And that is perhaps better than the pics ever would have been. So review. What is real is what lies within. And no, we can't completely control everything, but we can choose in 2018 to be more mindful, more aware, more conscious of what is going on inside our heads. It is a great adventure to watch one's own mind. I'm telling you, folks, this has changed, transformed, altered me forever, and it's made all the difference in the world with regard to stress levels. Just watch your mind for one day, please. You'll be amazed. You might find great storylines and loops and wild rides. Yes, the mind is a monkey, and you think a lot, about 60,000 thoughts a day. We know that we can bring awareness and then use our energy and focus and will to help us be more centered. We can use chakra meditations and positive thinking. Yeah, we've been hearing about that for years and just proves more and more true, contributing to a longer and healthier life. It's easy to meditate on a particular chakra. And by the way, while I was seeking information on the subject, I found that there are many different approaches to meditating and chanting, worthy of a whole other show. But in my classes, I like to have students focus on a particular chakra, for instance, the solar plexus chakra, and envision that yellow light radiating out from the area and flooding the entire body while chanting the seed sound for that chakra, Ram. Another method to bring balance and harmony to the energy of this third chakra, place your left hand on the place just above the navel and then cover the left hand with the right hand and hold for about a minute. This can be especially supportive when you are having a challenging time emotionally or are under stress. Try it. Simple, and it certainly can't hurt. I am very fortunate because I have Maureen, who helps to clear my chakras by energy work and Reiki and such. I met her at Heart Song Wellness in Milford, where she was doing a session as a medium. At that time, my friend Jackie Rose, she's been on my show several times, and she recently moved to Florida, yay Jackie, was running the Heart Song Wellness program. And so, although I had no serious interest in the medium thing, I wanted to support Jackie and Heart Song. Well, I ended up meeting someone who became very important in my life. I see this woman as a spiritual teacher. In fact, to me, she looks just like an angel. I go about every 6 weeks, and I know that our paths crossed that night for a reason. It was interesting because although the church on Pine Street was small, and there weren't many people there, and there would be no reason for a line outside the ladies' room, there was. And it was me and Maureen. So we chatted a bit. She had had a busy day. Her daughter had made her confirmation that day. And Maureen ended up having a tough night for a number of reasons at that session, as she later told me. But I had made that connection with her. I knew she had written books and had told us of her initial experience with this gift she had. So I thought, I just wanted to see her in a better time, a better light. Like my yoga teacher, Kathy Mann, Maureen, or Mo as she's called, has helped me to understand better the path I am on. I adore her. Her name is Maureen Kayada, and she's located in North Attleboro if you are interested in something like that. How can we use the asanas, the postures, to open the solar plexus chakra? A great pose for opening that chakra is the cat-cow, which we often do during our sessions. Also, plank, warrior 3, child's pose, bow, boat, seated twist, and corpse poses, all good. A little side note again. During my research for this show, I learned this. From an evolutionary viewpoint, The world is now in a third chakra energy. With the Industrial Revolution and the technology that has ensued, many lives are altered and many are able to use their personal power to move ahead. But this can also result in power struggles between countries and communities that are still being dealt with via war. On a happier, less violent note, let's hope for peace in the new year as we take what we practice on the mat into the outside world. We begin here today in this position of Savasana, corpse pose. And here we just relax the body. Palms are up as we just now draw our attention to the breath. We notice as the breath moves through the body. On the inhalation, the belly rising up, the air moving up the lungs into the top of the chest. And on the exhalation, releasing the chest and the ribs and the belly. So we just watch the breath as we rest here. We allow our concerns to move away. So for this period of time, we attempt to just live in this moment. We know that any time we're thinking the past or looking into the future, we're not present in the moment. So we spend an inordinate amount of time going over the past and looking forward to the future. But we don't spend a lot of time right here. And in yoga, we try to train ourselves to do that. So just for a moment, bring both hands to the belly and let them rest on the abdomen as we just cultivate this mind-body connection. As we inhale again, we feel the belly rise up into the hands. We notice the air moving up and actually moving the ribs sideways and then all the way to the top. We like to pause there for a few seconds and then releasing the chest and the ribs and the abdomen. So just noticing the sensation beneath your hands, the warmth of the hands, and the rise and fall of the breath. So let's just deepen the breath a little more. So let's inhale big into the belly, up into the ribs, and all the way up. Pausing, and then releasing the chest, the ribs, and the belly. And just returning to that natural rhythm of the breath. So if you like to close your eyes in Shavasana, that's fine. If you like to leave them open, just let the gaze be very soft. We hold a lot of tension in our eyeballs. So let's just take the body long now. Let's extend the arms by the ears, reaching back as we push the heels away. If you're near a wall, you can always push into the wall. It gives you a little extra too. And then exhaling down. Let's just point the feet and then flex them and point them and flex them. And as we flex, we just kind of ground down with the calves as well. So keeping the legs nice and straight and long. And then just make some circles with your feet. So just warming up the feet a little bit. And the other way. And then bring the big toes together and point them away, just stretching the feet and the inner thighs, the groin area, and then coming back up and just heel slide. So just getting some motion going in the legs, a little circulation there. And then once again, extend the arms, extend the legs. Take a few breaths here. So you are compromised, you're stretching, but we still try to take some nice full breaths. And on the next exhalation, Let your arms come down in time with your breath. And now let's remove the pillow. And if you did start on a bolster, sometimes we start in a bound angle position. If you did that today, you can just release your legs long. So let's just stretch the arms and stretch the legs again. And exhale down. Bring the feet up to the floor. And just gently rock the back and forth a little. Again, we just notice the sensation of the sacrum moving beneath us there. Kind of feeling the bones and tendons and muscles. We want to cultivate that awareness. We don't want to just do stuff. We want to really think about what we're doing. So draw the right knee into the chest and then extend the leg up long and point and flex and point and flex. And then draw that thigh to the chest and lift it up again. Put the sole up there, spread your toes. And then just bring that knee down and take the right knee right into your right elbow and take your left hand and just draw that in. So kind of, I call it like cradling the baby. And I like to just draw that in and you get a nice hip stretch in here. And then let the sole of the foot drop down and make some circles. Again, we just lubricate the joint, the hip joint there. And then coming back up. And just once again, bring that right knee right into the chest and extend the left leg long and let the toes be centered on the heel, the toes be up and the foot be centered on the heel. And then while you're right here in this position, keep your right hand here, take your left hand and set your block up over there. You can even take this one and set it up on the other side. So let's do that nice leg stretch. So we'll bring this up and then we're going to draw it over and place the calf on the block and just let your head and torso turn towards the right there. As you just rest there for a minute. Nice stretch. So we try to get as much as we can, in a straight line here. And it just depends where you're at. And then bend that knee and bring it back in and extend that leg long. And then stretch your body. Exhale down. Bring the feet up. And draw the left knee into the chest and take a breath. We notice as the abdomen pushes against the thigh, we just notice these things. And then extend that left leg up. Bring the thigh to the chest. Push the sole up. Spread the toes wide. Again, to the chest and up. And then bring that down. Take the left knee and the left arm and take that right hand. And just pull the left foot in towards you. Nice little stretch. Breathing. And then bring that sole towards the floor and make some rotations. And keep this right knee straight up. And then the other way. And now draw that in and extend the right leg. And then let that left leg be long. And then draw that right over to the right as you place that on the block. And turn the torso towards the left. So you may find that one side is a little different than the other. We often do in yoga. This side for me feels like more of a stretch. It doesn't quite go as long and straight. That's okay. And then bring that back in and back. So let's just draw the knees to the chest. And let's just loosen the legs a little so they're pointed this way. Point and flex, and make some circles. And then draw those up. Bring the hands through the middle, grab the outside of the feet, and just rock back and forth in happy baby. And then come to the middle and see if you can turn your toes inwards a little. So just turning them almost pigeon-toed, and then try rocking a little. You feel a little more action in the groin. And then bring the feet together, draw them in to whatever degree you're able, and then bring the feet down to the floor. And now we'll come up to a seated position, and we'll just come to Sukhanasana here, putting one leg under the other. Just trying to, if your knees are way up in the air, bring yourself up on a bolster. That's all. And over time, they will drop down more and more. So bring the hands up in the air, interlace them, extend up. Exhale down. Inhale, roll the shoulders. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Now come to the center. Bring one arm up and just extend over. And then down the other side, up and reaching over. And then coming back. So bring the hands to the tops of the knees, and as you push forward, just inhale as you come back, and exhale as you push around. Inhale back, exhale. So we do this little spinal rotation. And doing this, we do create a lot of heat in that solar plexus, that chakra that we were talking about earlier. Get the nice yellow color there, that 10-petal lotus flower. Again, this is the seat of our willpower. And then coming back to the center. Let's go the other way now. So starting over here. So I just read a long article about will and about how we all have will. Yeah, we all have it. We just don't really use it much. So sometimes we actually can call upon our will when everything else kind of falls apart on us. And then coming around. So the solar plexus, that chakra, actually has a musical note associated with it too, which is the music note E. Each chakra has a musical note. And of course, if you want to encourage the opening of that chakra, you can always eat like yellow food or yellow stones, using yellow stones in your practice. Okay, let's come up and let's take the blanket off and come right up to our knees here. So we come to table position. And in table position, we place the knees right underneath the hips and the wrists right under the ankles. Make sure your index fingers are either turned out slightly or parallel and not inward, as you can see what happens with the shoulders. So keep those out to protect the shoulders. Inhale, flat back up. Exhale, round and tuck. Make the arms long and the feet flat. Inhale up. Exhale, round up. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center. Bring one foot back and just rock the toes a little of that foot, just opening that up. And then bring that back and just rocking the toes of the other foot. So just encouraging the feet to open too. And then coming back to the middle. Walk your hands forward of the shoulders slightly. The pinky should be just about the side of the mat, and then tuck your toes. They should be the same width as your hands. Many times I'll see students where the feet are too close together. So tucking that and coming up into down dog. And just taking a breath here. Try just walking the heels up and down. If you have tight calves, tight hamstrings, you'll feel that. And then coming into plank pose, where you bring the shoulders right over the wrists there. Keep the belly up but the buttocks down. This plank pose is really good for opening that solar plexus chakra. Try doing a side plank. See if you can roll to your side. Now, you can always drop the back knee, remember, to modify. But see if you can. Go to your sides of your feet, and just elongating the arms. Taking a breath in side plank. Come back down. Go the other way. And just taking a breath. And then coming back down. Now come back into plank again. Good for opening that chakra, right? And then coming down a little bit. Keep the elbows in as much as you can. Flatten the feet. And lift the chest. Cobra. If you like, you can come up onto the feet in up dog. And then coming back down and come to child's pose. Child's pose is also just a really nice pose for opening the chakra. So if you like, you can use a block. And just see, I know sometimes this pose can be uncomfortable for some people. And if it is, just stack some more blocks and see if you can get yourself to a place where you can bring your buttocks down to your feet. So we kind of work towards that goal. Taking a breath. And then just coming up. Okay, so let's come up to standing. Let's come to Tadasana. So in this position, we make sure the feet are even and parallel. And we tuck the tummy back towards the spine. And I like to just roll the shoulders up and down so that we point the fingertips down. Lift the crown of the head without lifting the chin. So we just go for that extension and take a breath. In mountain pose. And then bring your hands to your hips and just step wide on the mat. And turn one foot out all the way and the other one in. So you can bring the toes in or slide the heel back. And we want the torso as much as possible to face this direction. So we extend the arms out from each other. We always have extension and expansion. So we're expanding and we're extending tall. And then we bend that forward knee so that the knee comes over the ankle. And we just try to keep that torso straight, and then we gaze right over that hand. So we keep the arm nice and long and straight, but we try to keep the hands somewhat relaxed in Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And then bring the forearm down, extend the arm over, an extended side angle, and just taking a breath. Nice. And then coming back up, reverse, back to Warrior, and then straighten that front leg, reach forward, and then down into Trikonasana. Good. And if you like, you can always use a folding chair to do your Trikonasana if you're starting out. I did that this morning in class. That works well for people too. And then turn the opposite foot out and the back one in. So the thing is, when we got balance in that solar plexus chakra, we're confident, we feel good, we're confident without being vain, and we feel our self-worth. We can be, if it's open, we're really logical, but if it's too open, we overthink things. So we have to be careful. We have to balance, and the whole idea is balancing the chakras. So bend that forward knee. Remember to relax the shoulders away from the ears, but don't drop the arms. And then bring the arm down and extend over. So if we get this open, it helps us to get stuff done on time too. So if you're procrastinating, might do a few ohms and focusing on that. Come up, reverse. Back to Warrior 2, straighten the front leg. Reach forward and come into Trikonasana, triangle. And just taking a breath. And then up. Come to the middle. And tap the legs. Inhale, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Bring the shoulders right up to the ears. Exhale, ha, ha. Inhale up, exhale, ha, ha. Inhale up, exhale, ha. Beautiful. Now let's try chair. So come up, come with your feet center, like Tadasana, and bring the arms by the ears and bend the knees. So coming into a seated position, allowing as you reach up that you also settle down. So we have that oppositional force of yoga. We lift up, we settle down. Bring these behind you and interlace your hands there. Straighten the legs and look back behind you in Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a breath. Bring your hands behind your knees and let them just rest behind your knees there. And then just nod your head no. And then come back to center and nod the head yes. And then just coming up. Okay, I'd like to come down just for a minute to a seated position. So let's come down again to the floor. Let's start on the side like this. And we'll just bring one foot in towards the thigh and the other foot back. And just fold over that front leg for a minute. So just stretch. Maybe cup the fingers a little, stretching that. And then walking back up. Okay, and then bringing the other way. Just come the other way. And extend out over the leg. So reaching. And then coming back up. And try folding forward over the legs. So just reaching out over, folding forward and just resting a moment, taking a breath. And then walk the hands back up. Let's extend the right leg long with the foot up. And try bringing your left foot up here. So just see how that goes, if you can do that. And inhale the leg up. exhale down. Inhale up, exhale back down. Inhale, and exhale. And then bring that leg down and bring the other foot over. Again, make sure your toes are up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Try opening them like a book. So just opening up the sides of the feet. And then extend the legs long, tap the legs, reach forward, lift the chest in Dandasana. So keeping the chest lifted, the back straight. Take a breath. And then come back up. Okay, let's come up to our, let's come back on our knees for a moment. So come up to this position and just sitting back on the knees. Now, if it's a problem for you to sit back, you can always use a couple of blocks to sit on. That's okay too. So wherever you're at, you can do that. Now, the thing is, if this hurts your knees a lot, then you don't want to do it if it's pain. But it's really a good pose for strengthening the knees. So if it's just a stretching thing and everything, you probably get used to it after a bit. So bring the hands up, interlace them, extend up. Exhale. Bring them to prayer. And then just go to one side. See if you can just kind of twist over to one side. And then come back, twist to the other side. And then back to the middle. And then just slide one foot over so that you're here and bring this leg over. And then take your arm and just move it, wrap it around that knee and move into the twist. The seated twists are really good for opening up that solar plexus chakra as well. So we take a breath. So not only do we open up that, but we also rid the internal organs of toxins, because when we're doing this, we're squeezing the body. Iyengar talks about how we do that squeezing action, and then as we open back up, it becomes replenished, all the organs and everything, so it's important. And then coming back, and just move the other way, and then twist to the side. Okay, we don't always get it right, but we try. So again, we get that twisting action. Nice. Spine stays nice and straight, right? And then coming back to the center. Okay, sounds good. Let's come back up for a minute. And let's once again come up into plank pose, because plank's what opens up that chakra, and that's what we're doing this on. So let's do that. And let's try rocking the heels a little bit. And then come back to middle again. Try coming down and Dandasana, Chaturanga Dandasana, which is knees, chest, chin, right? Bring the hands, press down, bring the shoulders back down, and raise your chest up. Good. Again. Taking a breath, opening the whole front of the body. Maybe up dog. And then flip your feet and come into down dog. Beautiful. Walk the heels. Again into plank. And then come to child's pose. Rest the head. Again, if you want something to rest it on, you can do that. Bringing the head down and the buttocks down to the back to the feet. And then you can come back up. Okay, let's come down and sit for a moment in Sukhanasana. Let's bring our hands up. And we'll bring the middle finger and the thumb together in the Shunai Mudra. This is a mudra for patience and responsibility, for getting the task at hand done. So let's do Om Shanti, 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 which just means peace to me and you and everybody. And let's do that 3 times. Inhaling to begin. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then open the hands. And for a moment, bring your attention to the third eye at the center of your forehead. And just allow that to open. Just allowing us to be a little more intuitive, to pick up on the vibes around us. And now, let us come to Shavasana again as we bring the pillow beneath the head. And if you have a bolster, you can bring that beneath your legs. Coming to rest. And once again, we just draw that attention back to the breath as we notice the rise and fall of the breath. So for now, we just allow our thoughts to remain descended. We just notice the breath moving through the body. In yoga, we learn many things. We learn about being calm in the face of struggles, of ups and downs, that we maintain this equanimity. We learn about the connections between the physical body and the mental and the spirit. We learn about love and compassion. We learn about living righteously. We learn how to balance our bodies and our emotions and our mind. And we learn to follow the breath, the inhalation, and the exhalation. So just relaxing all of the body, letting the feet relax, relaxing the legs and the back. Just noticing your arms heavy on the floor, the head on the pillow. We notice the sensation of the air on our skin. The sounds that enter our ears. We watch the thoughts we're having. Are we judging too much, maybe? We keep an eye on those things. Now just begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. And just slowly roll to your side and just rest there for a moment. And today we just rest with a feeling of gratefulness. And we just ponder for a moment the meaning of the word faith. Whatever that may mean to you. And then slowly, keeping your sense of tranquility, bring yourself to a simple seated position, Sukhanasana. Bring the hands to heart center and lift the sternum with the thumbs as you move the fingers outwards. And bow the busy, thinking, intelligent mind to the more intuitive wisdom of the heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love, surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Namaste. Thank you.